Well, there it is, man. Preseason, game one, Broncos, 49ers. We finally got the taste. We finally got the taste of what 2025 Denver Broncos might look like. All that and more on this episode of a reaction to preseason game one for the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. Let's go right about now. Welcome in, everybody, to the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. My name is Keith Brugman. I'm joined here by a couple different people. Well, maybe a couple different people. I got my good friend, the Jody, the Judge Moncrief, on the screen, coming in talking about a post-game reaction to this Broncos 49ers game. Welcome in, Judge, man. I know that you came in maybe not so elated right before we came on and started talking to the audience here.
No, it was just a blah performance, in my opinion, from the first string O. Didn't do very much. Two things I noticed: they tried to get Harvey the ball a lot. He likes to bounce it outside a lot. And Troy Franklin, he was running with the ones, and he was getting a lot of action. After this game, I would say he's probably your WR2, or from what they showed in this game.
Yeah, I would agree, man. Franklin, it's funny. Right before I think the last podcast we went on, I happened to catch a Pac-12 60-minute game. They condensed it all into 60 minutes. It was Oregon versus Utah, which showed the likes of Bo Nix and Troy Franklin and Devon Vele and Jonah Ellis. I mean, it was kind of fun to actually watch the game, and just being reminded of that Bo Nix to Troy Franklin connection. And then, I don't know, less than a week later, Jody, we started to see that, and that's some of the things that we do want to see. I know that it didn't look in sync. It didn't look great from that first team offense out there, but there were pieces, there were parts. And I think you're right when it comes to Troy Franklin and Bo Nix and that connection maybe coming around in year two. I think we started to see some sparks there.
Oh, I definitely agree. I think you could see him force feeding the ball a little bit to Sutton. That connection is going to be there. And then Franklin, I mean, he was getting a lot of passes thrown his way. I didn't expect him to be out there right away with the ones. I expected more Vele. I was wrong on that. They're going to use Mims the same way they used him last year, which is, or from what I've seen in this game, he's going to get used the same way. But I've said if Troy Franklin turns out to be your number 2 wide receiver and he's number 2 behind Sutton, that's the best outcome for Denver, because he's got the size and he's got the speed that no one else on this roster has. A lot of them have the size, but they don't have the speed. He has everything. And if he can put it together, he's probably their most dynamic guy that has both of those traits.
And some guys have speed and don't have that size too. I mean, we have a few of those guys on the roster as well. It's nice to see that coming into around. I think Trevor is going to be able to join us. He's trying to make some connections in the background. Graham's coming in here. He's not seeing Estime make this team. He's also Paul's coming in. He wasn't happy with the penalties. Got to get up though to Michael Ronquillo, who did come in here, dropping some stars. getting the season started right, man. 100 stars after a 30-9 victory for the Denver Broncos. Got over my shoulder right around there. But Michael Ronquillo, man, appreciate you. Love the stars. Appreciate you coming in. Any thoughts, any questions, please drop them. And it looks like he does have some. He says, let's see. What? 10 unanswered points for the Denver Broncos. Oh, sorry, 30 unanswered points for the Denver Broncos against the 49ers after losing 9-0 in the first quarter. After falling behind early. And before I lose a connection, maybe I should say welcome in Trevor Rocketman Salzman and maybe get his thoughts on that. Go down early. This 49ers team, even though the defense seemed to give them a lot of fits, end up going, up 7 and then 9 points. We can talk about the offense as well. But then we go off and we rattle off 30 straight. Got to get your initial reaction. Sometimes the score doesn't really paint the picture, especially in preseason. Kind of got Jody's reaction, the judge's reaction. Want to get yours as well.
Welcome I apologize for whatever reason. My internet's starting to act up, and it's storming. So that's always great, great timing. But no, I mean, the Broncos got off to a slow start. That's just what it was. I think that there was some maybe a little more rust on this team than maybe they originally thought. Mac Jones obviously ended up getting the start in this game. I just thought the Broncos came out slow, and I thought on both sides of the ball. I thought it took them a little bit to kind of get going. And I think once they got going, especially on that defensive side of the ball, this team definitely started turning it around. I feel better about this team's defense, though, turning it around than I do the offense. The offense, to me, still big questions, I think, that need to be answered going through the rest of the preseason, especially the next preseason game. Preseason game 2, the starters are going to get more playing time. And they're going to get more of an opportunity to kind of iron out these wrinkles a little bit in game action. So they got to take and watch film on this game, take it and learn from it, because game 2 is really when it counts, especially for these guys. They're going to be starting, obviously, week 1 of the regular season.
Yeah. Paul's coming in here. He's thinking the first team offense and the defense was concerning in his mind. And then, Michael, the Ronk, everybody's friend, Michael Ronquillo, came in here. He dropped some stars early. I said, if he has any questions, you need to drop them. And lo and behold, here's one right here. And I think it's a pretty good one, man, because we saw some pretty good run with the running backs. RJ Harvey got his due. Audric Estime got his cleanup time. But we saw a lot of Tyler Bidet, and we saw a lot of Blake Watson. I'll go to the judge first, man. You're down there. You're the coach. You're the position coach. You're the GM. You're trying to make a decision, and it comes down to Tyler Bidet. It comes down to Blake Watson. Which way are you going, buddy?
From what I've seen tonight, Tyler Bidet, for me, he hits the whole explosive, and he has some burst that I don't see in Blake Watson. But really, I think it's more, in my opinion, it's more going to come down to who does what on special teams, because you have after tonight, it's pretty evident that Harvey and J.K. Dobbins are going to, even though Dobbins didn't do anything, Harvey and Dobbins are going to be your 1A, however you want to mark them. And then who is number 3, and that's going to be who balls out on special teams. I want to say Estime in that group, but I didn't see – he got the most carries tonight, but he was just kind of blah as well. He had one big run, trucked a guy. I think that might be his only saving grace, is he is the only guy that I really did see that runs up the middle and doesn't try to bounce stuff.
Fair. Didn't get to see a whole lot of J.K. Dobbins actually within all this as well. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But I want to get Trevor's thoughts on the same exact question, and then I got to get a few questions in, because again, this is going to be a kind of just a short, quick reaction. I want to get some reactions here. But reaction between Bidet and Watson, where are you going, Trevor?
I mean, I think it's Bidet right now. I say the biggest question is Blake Watson, Roderick Estime at this point in time. I mean, and again, we've still got 2 preseason games to kind of determine this, and who's going to get cut, and who's going to actually make this roster. But I still think it's still a little bit open in that running back room. Other than look with Dobbins and Harvey, obviously going to get the bulk of the carries, but behind those guys, and I think Jaleel McLaughlin will also make this team. I think after that, you're really going to start opening up competition still of who's going to make this team. Tyler Bidet looked really well tonight, but come game 2, game 3, it could be somebody completely different. So great sample size tonight from Tyler Bidet. You love to see it. You love to see him be effective in pass blocking too. I think that's also a big thing and big reason why he could make this roster over a couple other players like Blake Watson possibly, or even Roderick Estime. But I think it's still yet to be determined. I would say out of those 2, for sure Tyler Bidet, but I think there might be a bigger question of where is the exact Roderick Estime stack upon all these running backs on this Denver Bronco roster.
Yeah, and Jaleel McLaughlin, and it keeps going, man, because even the announcers that were 49ers based, at least on the NFL channel I was listening to, were very much talking about just another running back from the stable from the Denver Broncos out there, running sometimes very fast and very hard. I accidentally threw. You guys are commenting so fast. Slow down. I wanted to get the 4th horseman in here. And I appreciate all the comments. Posse, you guys are amazing. You guys rock. That's why we're here. That's why we're doing what we're doing. You might be able to tell, a little bit stuffy, a little under the weather. I'm here for you. Kenny's here for you as well, man. And he says, I'll throw a question out there, Keith. How surprised were you that Harvey got the start over Dobbins? I'm going to throw this back around. I'll say I was somewhat surprised. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag here on the air, gentlemen. I'll talk to you maybe a little bit off air, but I think there's been a little bit of cryptic writing on the wall as far as this has been concerned. And maybe J.K. Dobbins isn't long for the Denver Broncos. We've been talking about this for a little while. And all of a sudden, R.J. Harvey gets the start. So it wasn't super surprising for me. I'll go back around the horn the opposite direction. I'll get Trevor's reactions first.
Yeah, I mean, Dobbins is out there with the starters. I mean, Harvey ended up getting more of like carries and the bulk of the carries. I'm not surprised by that because he's a rookie and you want to get his feet wet out there and kind of see what he has. So, but from a starting standpoint, I still think it doesn't change. I think J.K. Dobbins is still going to be this team's starting running back and is going to get most of the run with the starters, at least early on, because again, it's R.J. Harvey. You got to love the speed. You got to love what he could possibly be in the passing game. But he's got to be able to pass block. Me and Keith talked about this Friday. And so you got to be able to pass block if you're going to get playing time with Sean Payton. Javonte Williams last year was a big component of that. Sean Payton kept going back to Javonte Williams time and time again because he was so a great pass blocking in that regime compared to everybody else. So got to see what Harvey can do. But I think pass blocking is going to be a huge thing when it comes down to it. I still think Dobbins is the guy.
All right. So my cryptic writings are unexplained and actually being read incorrectly. But I want to get the judge's thoughts on this, man. Were you surprised that J.K. Dobbins wasn't out there first touch? R.J. Harvey got that first touch. What are your thoughts on how Sean Payton scripted this? I guess first few plays at least.
No, I wasn't surprised. He wants to see what Harvey can do. He wants to put him in running situations and pass situations. It is one of the reasons why Dobbins was brought in to begin with, is because there's not a running back on this roster that can pass block efficiently. And you could see it in the first couple drives. I mean, they were blitzing and the running back was nowhere to be found back there blocking. So that alone, I think, in good, bad, or indifferent, Dobbins is going to be on this roster because he can pass block. And until someone steps up that can show that they can pass block, he's going nowhere. So now your cryptic message and stuff I would have agreed with if, and I don't care who it was, Watson, Estime, Bidet stepped up and showed that they could pass block, but they have not done that. And I didn't really see it in tonight's game all that much. So Dobbins, I think it's going to be a heavy dose of Dobbins and Harvey, and you might get a sprinkling of whoever the third running back is that they keep.
Yeah, it'll be interesting how much they actually press that and try to see how much RJ Harvey, Jaleel McLaughlin, Audric Estime, Blake Watson, Tyler Bidet. Boy, I feel like I'm just like going through a dictionary of names at this point as I go through the running back room. But, how much they press them into the situation of third down running back, how much they're going to press them into the fact of having to pick up those blocking situations. It's pretty easy to make that happen if you want to as a coach and put them in the position to make that, apparent whether they're capable of doing that or not. And I think it'll be huge, along with what Jody continues to say. When we start talking about this time of year, preseason games, cut lines coming up, we got to start talking about special teams and what these guys bring on that side of it, because that can make or break a guy's career, whether he stays on a roster or whether he doesn't. Sean Payton's not wanting to let anything go out the door. Graham's playing unpaid producer. Yeah. He's saying that, I'm sorry. I keep pulling up the wrong comment, you guys. Payton called the first team offense average to below average. I imagine there's a semi-press or after the fact that we're missing out on right now. Appreciate everyone that's tuning into us instead, getting some initial reaction. And that's really where, guys, this might take up the last 10, 15 minutes that we have left, because I want to first go around and I want to hear about who impressed for you. And I'm going to start off with Trevor first, and then I'll go to Jody. Trevor, You get one name only, and we'll start going around the horn. One that impressed for you.
I'm going to go Nick Bonito. I think Nick Bonito's just his quickness off the snap. I mean, I just think he's so elite, and that's what makes Nick Bonito so attractive to want to lock up long term. I think, you just watch 3 plays, bam, 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 in a row where he was in the quarterback's grill from the start. I know it's backups. I get that. But still, Nick Bonito showed out today. I think he's going to continue to show why he needs that contract extension, why he deserves that. His just quick speed, Keith, I think is top 5 elite edge rushers in football. Now, yes, he's got to set the edge. He's got to get better there, of course. But that quickness, that first step, elite speed that he's got, you don't find that amongst a lot of players. And he's just him continuing to grow that, just really eye-popping. He's the guy that eye-pops right off the screen to me 3 plays in a row. I know, again, it's backups, but still putting tape out there regardless of who he's going up against, lining up against. Nick Bonito, for me, really impressed.
Very good. That is not Nick Bonito's agent speaking there, looking for a contract. That's Trevor the Rocker Man Salzman. Good, but you're absolutely right, man. You look at that first step, that quickness he has. Yeah, we want to see better edge setting, and you'll continue to try to work at that. But there's nothing quite like what he's able to bring to the field as far as that fast, quick step and that bend. Good call out, man. I like it. I got to go to Jody. I got to get some call outs from the posse as well. But Jody, one that impressed, I guess it's not Nick Bonito.
I'll go a little bit. Someone that that you don't expect. I thought Chris Abrams played well today, and I think he's somebody that, in the end, can make Jaleel McLaughlin expendable. Jaleel McLaughlin, I think he's a boom bust guy. He gives up the big play and then gets an interception. And I think that's why Jahdae Barron was drafted here. They want more consistency there. And the reports of he may play outside, or I don't think that's going to happen. It's Moss and it's PS2 outside. Jahdae Barron is going to be inside. And if Jaleel McLaughlin doesn't make this roster, it's because of Chris Abrams, in my opinion.
Jaquan McMillan.
Or Jaquan McMillan, sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's usually only my mistakes that everyone's correcting, so it's nice to fall on somebody else, Judge. On the other side of things, Kenny Kirkpatrick is in love with Jaquan McMillan. That's a guy that stepped up in his mind and that showed out in this game because, yeah, he did give up the big play early, but then he did bounce back, in his opinion, and get that interception. I'm gonna go a different route. I'm gonna go Pat Bryant. And similarly, man, he had a early holding penalty, got a play called back, but then next thing you know, he's out there and he's making plays and he's making sideline catches. I think Pat Bryant showed enough that he can continue to make steps. I'll let you guys go one more time around the horn on somebody that stepped up, and then we'll maybe call out some that need to step up, I guess, as well. Trevor, any others that stepped up?
Jared Stidham. I mean, he was rock solid as far as being the backup quarterback this team needs. I mean, this is why Denver brought back Jared Stidham over Zach Wilson, because of the stability that Stidham gives to this team. I mean, he just feels so comfortable in this offense. I mean, he just was flinging it out there. He was running. He thought he was Justin Fields there for a minute out there running. I mean, just Jared Stidham. I mean, he looked really, really comfortable. I think he just reiterated to everybody that this is the reason why I am here in Denver. I'm comfortable in Sean Payton's offense. He can trust me, and I'm going to get the job done. If Bo Nix goes down, I can step up and be that next quarterback for this team and keep this team afloat if something would happen to Bo Nix. Jared Stidham, I thought, stepped up routinely tonight, play after play, and I just was really impressed just how his confidence was early on in this game. Because it seemed like Bo Nix, it was a little opposite for me. Bo Nix's confidence was a little off at times, and then Jared Stidham comes out there and it was strong. I mean, he was whipping it out there and throwing it out there in tight coverages. So Jared Stidham, for me, just continues to step up, and you like to see it from your backup quarterback that you paid pretty good money to as well to keep around.
Fair enough, yeah, especially with the payday. It is good to see something pay out on the payday, at least in the preseason, give you a little bit of assurance about what would ever happen. Knock on wood, God forbid, Bo Nix isn't able to go 17-plus games this year. And you need to see a little bit of Jared Stidham. Made you feel a little bit good about maybe what's capable, what's plausible, what's possible from a Jared Stidham brand offense. Go over to Jody. Any others that you wanted to put on the table as far as ones that stood out or thought looked good in their first preseason outing?
I thought Trent Sherfield looked good. He made an impressive, got his feet in bounds on that touchdown. Great catch there. I thought he looked good. I think he's solidified. I think he was already going to make this roster because of special teams, but I think he's going to have some snaps on offense. So I think he looked good.
That's fair. And, Kenny Kirkpatrick may have beat you to your thought process, or maybe you beat him and he was able to type faster. But yeah, Trent Sherfield was one for Kenny Kirkpatrick, fourth horseman, that's not able to join us on screen, but is in the posse with all of y'all. I was trying to think of where else I would go: offense, defense, special teams. One guy that kind of just stood out, at least early for me, and at least stood out in a way that he looked capable and didn't look out of position, especially given I don't know, maybe the number of reps and the amount of time he's had with this team, was Lavelle Bailey. I thought Lavelle Bailey looked pretty dang good early on out there for the defense in the middle, and kind of just talking with his team and talking with his teammates and knowing where he needed to be. Wasn't out of place, didn't give out up big plays. And I mean, this is just a guy that we need to see start taking that next step, right? And we've been talking about him a lot this preseason about what he could possibly bring to this team. So not a big shout out. It wasn't a guy that made, touchdown play like Jody's calling out with Trent Sherfield for sure. But, a guy that I thought was solid within this game and continues to make strides like we need to see. So, all right. We at least have time for at least one. A guy that needs to step up in the next couple of preseason games, or a guy that maybe disappointed in this game. I'll start off with Jody the Judge Moncrief first, to go opposite way around.
I'm going to go all the running backs in pass protection. It goes back to why J.K. Dobbins is on this roster. I didn't see any running back that stepped up and looked, assertive in pass protection, and that is why Dobbins is here. And I'll even be more specific. Audric Estime, he can truck guys when he gets going downhill, and he can do that. But he did have that run late in the game where he got around the outside. But other than that, I mean, he kind of looked blah to me. All the running backs look blah to me tonight, and I know that this is going to take a little time because they're kind of going to this wide zone type of run. But it did just all of them look blah to me, and I didn't see anything in the pass protection. So, can someone step up besides Dobbins?
Will the real RB1 please stand up? Please stand up. Please stand up. That's what Jody the Judge Moncrief is looking for right now. Paul has been nailing comments, and I got to get to this before I get to Trevor the Rocket Man Salzman on maybe a disappointment or one that needs to stand up or step up this next game. Sternad, too? No? I didn't get to see. I'm sorry. I didn't get to see game even. I can't. He didn't get to see the game, I guess. But Paul's coming in here. I'm sorry. I'm having trouble reading your comments. Between my bad eyes and maybe your bad typing, Paul, I'm having a hard time. But Justin Sternad was a name that came to me pretty early in this game. I mean, Justin Sternad was out there doing what Justin Sternad does. You know, from his position, blitzing, making problems for the 49er offense, making problems for the 49er quarterback. Justin Sternad is a good call out as far as a guy that stepped up in this game. I thought that was pretty good. And Paul, thank you. And sorry about the comment and me reading it. But I'm going to get to Trevor as far as a disappointment is concerned.
I think disappointment. I think this whole Broncos starting offensive line. I mean, I don't think they were able to get in rhythm all night. It seemed like, I mean, when they were out there, and this team couldn't run the football very well. This certainly seemed like they could never get and have good pass protection out there for Bo Nix. It's just time and time again they were missing assignments. I thought there was also kind of just not everybody was on the same page, and you've seen that kind of multiple times. You see edge rushers just getting free will at Bo Nix, and that just can't happen. I think the offensive line just disappointed. And then I'm going to go around the same lines, Keith. I thought Bo Nix, he needed to be better. There's a couple throws that I thought they were underthrown from him that I think if those are just a little bit thrown a little bit further, I think that could be a pretty big play for this team. And certainly one comes to mind where you threw it up to Cortland Sutton and it was too short. Cortland Sutton could not, but that's what Cortland Sutton does really well, 50-50 balls. And it's just when it's underthrown like that, you ain't giving them a chance. So I thought that's just something to definitely look for with Bo Nix. But I expect Bo Nix to step up from there. I expect him to move forward and continue to be better. First preseason game, I'm not panicking with Bo Nix, just something to kind of see, get his feet set a little bit. His offensive line and him, I don't think we're on the same page a lot of times. But I expect him to correct those and learn from that going into game two. Game two will say a lot for me with these starters because they're going to see a lot more playing time out there. This game, I think they're just getting their feet wet. I expect them to continue to improve and get back on track, though.
Can I add to that with his own line? If Evan Ingram is not going to block, then just move him to wide receiver and get a blocking tight end in there because, I mean, there was 2 plays that come to my mind that he just didn't want to block. So if he's not going to block, that's fine. He's an elite. He can go out and play Joker and just go move to wide receiver.
I'll say that's fair, buddy. I'll say that's kind of fair. We brought in Evan Ingram for a reason. It wasn't for his blocking, and maybe he showed that a little bit this evening. Opportunity for him, but at the same time, not what we hired him to do. Not what we're paying him for the big dollar. So you're absolutely right.
When
if he
people
needs to
get
be outside more,
right? When people get upset that we didn't, go get a big name wide receiver in free agency, we did. Evan Ingram.
Yeah. I could have easily put Evan Ingram on the list of guys that need to step up here, but this is what I'm going to do. I really started thinking about this before we even went live, gentlemen, and Posse, everyone in the Posse. Once upon a time, not too long ago, we would have been happy about eking out a preseason win against just about any old team and almost calling it a victory. it wasn't that long ago that we had a coach in here and a quarterback in here. That was probably a big determination. Make sure that we're winning here in preseason because that makes us feel really good. This is a team that has a lot to prove when it comes to the starters. Maybe didn't put out their best performance, but overall as an organization came away with a 30-9 win. Overall as an organization looks like they're headed in the right direction. And overall, I'm not going to go ahead and I'm going to put up a concern this evening. I think the next 2 games are going to be key. Don't get me wrong. And there's a lot of fine-tuning to do. But let's not panic, Broncos country. I love where we're at right now. We just put up 30-9, and we could sit here all evening, gentlemen, and talk about and nitpick all the things that didn't go right for this Denver Broncos team. There's a lot of things that are going to happen in the near future that are going to go, in my opinion, very right. And so I'm not going to be hypercritical now. I think that this team is headed in the right direction. I can't wait for the next game. Hopefully it looks another like this 30-9 I have posted over my shoulder back here, but with just a little bit better performance from our number ones overall. So that's where I'm going to leave it. We are going to wrap it up, man. Fantastic episode, man. Fantastic episode. We love going live. By the way, we've been talking a lot, just to let everybody in the posse know, about switching up our schedule a little bit. Maybe some new shows come around. So this is what I ask of you. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button, because that's when you know when we're going to go live. That's when you know when we're coming on post-game after preseason game 1. Please go out there and do that. You never want to miss, because you never know. You might see a morning show be coming around. Who knows? It's all crazy out here with the DVR and RMSN. But we're going to get some goodbyes in. I'm going to start with Mr. Trevor Rocketman Salzman.
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody for hanging out with us tonight, whether you're watching live or even after the fact. I mean, it's 10 p.m. Mountain time. So, again, like he said, like, share, subscribe. We do this for you guys, and we go on pretty much any time. So we'll do this for everybody, but hope everybody enjoys these post-game live reactions, because there's going to be more, and this is just the start of our coverage all season long, all Denver Broncos. And can't wait to bring it to everybody in the posse, because you guys are the best fans out there. Just really want to appreciate everybody that's in the comments and going to be watching this as well, even after the show. So and again, thank you, Keith, and thank you, Jody. This is a lot of fun, and can't wait to be on the next show. So if everybody has a great rest of your weekend, stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time. Go Broncos.
Look out for that 2:45 a.m. podcast that might just be coming out, Oh, by the way, we're also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, in case you don't want to be up at 2:45, but you want to take us on the go. Jody the Judge Moncrief, some final thoughts before we get out of here.
I'm not going to get too panicked. It's preseason game 1. It was vanilla from what you could see. They were trying to work one thing, and that was get this run game going. You could see that. It was pretty obvious right away. So I'm not panicking. When they get ramped up, everything will be fine. I'm not worried about it. The only thing that I want to see is a running back step up besides J.K. Dobbins that can pass block.
That's all I want, man. That's all I want. I'm just asking for a running back that can be out there for 3 downs, please. That's what the Jody's looking for. But the judge was looking for Jody Moncrief, man. All I know is it's been another fantastic episode. I love hanging out with the Horsemen. I love hanging out with the posse, man. As of now, I'll put that this way: we go live every Tuesday, every Friday, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We always have these post-game reaction shows. We're on all the YouTubes, the Facebooks. We're on the Apple Podcasts, the Spotifys. Check us out. We love y'all. Love hanging out with you after a game, getting your initial reaction to, what this Denver Broncos 2025 team may look like. We've still got 2 more preseason games to go. We still got 17 regular season games to go. Can't wait to take this ride with y'all. But we get out of here one way only. Make sure you keep those boots in the stirrups, guns in the holsters, and of course, the Denver Broncos in your heart. Have a great weekend, everybody. Can't wait to see you next time.